30 in the...
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Last Light, our journey through the homebrew world of the Treasured Expanse. I, of course, am your benevolent Dungeon Master, Puck, and I am joined today by our stalwart explorers, these fine adventurers doing a great service to the great empires, which I will now introduce in no particular order, starting with Goblin of Enormous Importance, Merrick, joining us today.
Yeah, g'day. Name's Merrick, and yeah, I'm a goblin of some importance. Mostly in the sense of keeping people alive. I'm a ranger, and I come from the Scale Lands, and I'm played by this git who happens to be Australian. His name's Dag. His name's Michael, and he's all right, but that's how it is. I'm traveling with these people and looking forward to trying to save everyone and try and make sure that whatever dangers happen to be in front of us, we leave them behind as quickly as we can. That's a very Australian version of Merrick, but I'll wind up.
Thank you very much, Australian Merrick. Also joining us today, expedition leader and preeminent diplomat, Dulcinea, joining us today.
Just here to make sure this does not turn into a PR nightmare.
Of course, of course. And our gaslighting, gatekeeping girl boss, I did it right this time, V, joining us today.
Hello. Well, you already said it. Here to gaslight, here to gatekeep, here to girl boss, and most importantly, I'm here to ensure a high rate of return on all of our investments by fucking over every other Caligarn company.
Excellent. Well done. And noted child prodigy in the field of archaeology, we have Shay joining us as well.
I do believe that is correct, and I also, too, don't want us to go to plan G or H or whatever it was that was mentioned by Dulcinea, because that means that we would be at war with ourselves, meaning we are from Saskatoon, so that would be horrible.
We don't want to get to the murder plan. The murder plan might lead to civil war.
What's a little murder in between?
Civil war? No. Listen, Shay is just trying to make some discoveries, okay? She's trying to find ancient civilizations. She ain't got time for no civil war, okay?
And last but not least, he's just here to ask a few questions. We have Trafer Grok.
I'm just here to have a good time. I'm just happy to be here, honestly. It's an honor to be chosen for this sort of expedition, and hopefully nobody dies.
Hopefully nobody dies. At least nobody that we know, one would hope.
No one we care about, even.
Right? People can die, just not us.
Yeah, I'm like, I got like 1, 2, 3, 4 people I give a shit about in the Treasured Expanse right now.
Maybe that means that the Lonely Beacon would actually be lonely because there's no one alive.
Oh dear.
I'm still gonna stick with the hopefully nobody dies thing, but that's just me.
Well, perfect outcomes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Treasure Expanse. When last we left our heroes, our fine adventurers here had set out on a secret expedition to discover the northeastern coast of this newly discovered continent called the Treasured Expanse. They were given this quest a bit early, as it was intended to be an open contest for all of the settlers and adventurers of this land. The reward is quite hefty. A piece of land and a hefty stipend to create a new world, a new settlement on this northeastern coast. They were given this information 2 weeks ahead of the official announcement. But unfortunately, after arriving in their very first town of Light's Watch and meeting with the eccentric Governor Ragland, our party has discovered that information about this contest has been leaked by the Empress of Saskatoon's brother, Prince Camerick, who has taken it upon himself to use this expedition to raise his stature and glory, seeing it as a great deed he can accomplish to gain favor in the eyes of the imperial people. So, in the midst of a hasty re-announcement of the expedition, now open to all competitors, our party finds themselves in the town of Light's Watch with tickets for a riverboat trip down to another town known as Haven's Gate, where a governor, Mr. Cartwright Grimes, wishes to meet with them. So, you guys have just had the big announcement. You've all been introduced to people. The event has now died down a little bit. The Duchess has departed, along with her associate, the CEO of the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company. But before they leave, they do take you aside to kind of share a few words and answer a few questions. And specifically, Mr. Oh, fuck, I forgot the names of my own characters. Give me a moment here. Mr. Jace Walpole. There we go.
I was going to say Jace.
I tell you, man, Mondays. Mr. Jace Walpole takes you aside, Shay. How are you doing? How are you finding the expedition so far?
Well, it has been a rather enlightening experience, I can say that for sure. Again, you know that I don't usually fare well working with others for lots of reasons. But this group, they may be an exception to my normal rule of usually wanting to work solo.
I'm glad to hear that. I do have one request for you.
Of course.
Any discoveries that you find that are particularly pertinent to the future of the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company? Things of particular value for trade, of course, in this new world. I need you to mark them for dispatch. Do you understand?
I believe so. Are you saying that I should not report to Lady Dulcinea?
I'm saying that you should report to me.
Well, how would you like me to do that? I don't have anything to get word to you quickly.
Of course. Here, you will use this. And he pulls from his pocket a small silver ring. And on this ring, there is the crest of the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company. And it is surrounded by 10 small gemstones in a circle around it. When you find an object or site of importance, simply pry out one of the gemstones and leave it there. I'll be able to find them using spells at the company's disposal, and we'll claim the land immediately.
All right. I will do as you say. It is rather odd that, considering that we're supposed to be all working together, that you would have me do what I normally do, as far as just working alone in this matter.
Lady Dulcinea is an envoy of the Crown, and you are an envoy of the company. And we do serve the same ends in most regards. However, sometimes certain discussions and red tape are to be avoided. It is in the best interest of all parties involved. You understand, of course?
Of course.
If you were to make a grand discovery, certainly you would not want some diplomat holding you back from it for the sake of some signed papers or handshaking.
No, of course not. Especially if there are important studies and research that can be made, especially uncovering any civilizations that are long lost. That is what we've come out here to do, right?
Of course, and any resources to be extracted or treasures to be mined.
Well, I will definitely be sure to keep an eye out. Every inch of this land. And further, we seem to be going to a lot of different places. I do wonder, how are mother and father doing? Are they faring well?
Faring quite well, in fact. You may even have time to visit them on their journey. I've dispatched them most recently out to the fickle tundra. It is along your way, if you change your route slightly. There's a particularly large crater there, and there's an excavation team working along one of the Caligarn seats.
They always get sent on the best excavation sites. Well, I guess I'll have to make do with us going on this ferry to Haven's Gate instead of going to a crater where there's probably going to be a greater discovery there to be made. But that's fine. Everything's fine.
I would pay close attention to Guardian Falls. They have an extensive gem mine behind that waterfall. Perhaps you'll find something better there.
You said there is a what?
An extensive gem mine.
A gem mine.
Behind Guardian Falls is where the town gets its namesake. It is operated by a low-level Caligarn businessman, but he's making great strides these days. Any information you find would be pertinent.
All right. And what is this person's name?
That's a good question, and I totally remember what it is.
I apologize for throwing you off guard, Jace.
I'm a very busy businessman. I can't be expected to know the names of all the individuals.
Pulls out the Rolodex.
That is fair enough. I'm certain we will get that information as we reach Haven's Gate.
Ask the gentleman when you arrive. He's become quite I think it's Cletus or something.
Cletus, that sounds like a very, yes, a name of someone who would be running that mine. Yes.
Well, best of luck on your journey. I just wanted to make sure that your priorities were set.
And they are. I shall not disappoint.
On your way, then. And if nobody has any further questions for Duchess Akala and Jace Walpole, they will depart.
Sorry, Your Majesty, just before you go, kind of questioning why it was pertinent to announce us to everyone with the announcement of the competition. Like, kind of feel like there's a target on our backs now that people know we're officially endorsed.
You'll be fine. Every major leader in every major town in this place is going to be looking out for you guys. So,
Alright.
I apologize. It is a bit of a target. But you're strong, you're a capable group, and a good part of this is PR. We need you to be known when you succeed the adventure.
Sure. Alright.
Go.
Well, I did not mean
Build
to...
your own grand legends.
I did not mean to question your wisdom,
Look,
mighty and
if
fair Duchess. And
if I didn't have to do all this palace stuff, I'd be out there with you. I was out hunting in the Haven Woods the other day. I saw a boar the size of a backyard shed. It was huge. Oh, and the meat trafer. The meat of this creature. Of course I did.
Wow.
I almost didn't get it in time. Jace was expecting me that evening, and I so rarely get a chance to get out of the castle these days.
Well, hey, maybe when we make our way back, if you're still around, we can see what else is out there in the bush.
You'd be doing me a huge favor, because if you're a successful explorer and adventurer at that time, I can call it a diplomatic trip, and we can go hunting together, and I can get out of the castle.
I would, Trayford starts to flush a little bit. I would, be thrilled to prompt whatever diplomatic trips I may for...
That's great. Don't die. I need this.
Not planning on it.
Okay. Counting on you, Trafer.
I won't let you down, Your Majesty.
Of course. Thank you. Appreciate it. And as she departs, she just kind of like begins bounding. This enormous lion woman starts just bounding out the streets, almost going to all fours in a kind of gallop, shouting, "I'm going to run home!" And Jace kind of sighs and hangs his head and quietly gets into a cart.
Sometimes they truly are the best of us, aren't they?
He leans out of the cart and says, "There's a gentleman waiting for you at the river boats. It should be a Mr. Varengol Wifton."
Oh, name.
He runs the riverboat that should take you to Haven's Gate.
What was that name again? Can I get that name again, please?
Barengel Varengol Whitlan.
I was not that far off in my spelling.
Right? Same. I'm so
Right?
proud of
I
that.
feel really impressed.
Just a couple vowels, but yeah, they're hard.
And the carriage departs and leaves you all in Haven's Gate with some tickets for a riverboat ride.
Well, do we have any reason to stay?
I don't think so. We're already behind a couple of teams by now, so unless anybody has any pressing matters, vote.
No, actually, I believe I may have more important matters at Haven's Gate now.
Okay,
All right.
great.
Yeah, I think I picked up everything I need for the trip. I'm ready to go when you guys are.
I'm just
ready?
happy to be along for the ride, man. This is gonna be a hell of a time.
Great. And I'll
Do you
I'll
need
start.
to take time with the fish to say your farewells?
Well, they're already gone. I mean, I threw them into the water, and they kind of, did what fish do, and they just kind of went. But I have a feeling we may see them later on down the line.
Down the river.
I kind of have this feeling that this won't be the last time I'll see them.
I'm quite certain, if my information is correct, because of the way that the water goes upstream, they should be following in the same direction as us.
Yeah, they should. I mean, I don't know what happens to, to fish during last light. I mean, do they hit the river? Does it go into the river? Information is important.
The river freeze?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Mm.
I wonder if anyone's looked this stuff up. Maybe we should ask around in the next town and see if any of the ranger stations or anything have any info.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, ask our lovely riverboat operator. He would probably know.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if there's nothing further, you guys make your way to the docks at Light's Watch. And just as they were when you entered the town, it is a busy place. The ships that operate along the rivers are not like the boats that ferried you from the mainland empires to the Treasured Expanse. They are these kind of wide, flat, barge-like structures. And they have ramps that descend onto the shoreline and onto the docks so that carts and other goods can be loaded up onto them. And some of them have simple structures just built atop of them, as though somebody built a massive floating dock and then just set a shack on it for controls and some for living. And the boats kind of move up and down the river, sometimes operated by magical propulsion and sometimes operated by paddle or sail. You guys are led to a ship that is labeled with the Cartwright Graham's Shipping Company on the side, and it is currently being loaded up with a couple of different carts and various travelers, and a large gentleman with a bit of a mustache and a thick black coat and a flat, wide-brimmed hat set about his head stands by a shack with a steering wheel inside, ushering people aboard the ship.
Captain, thank you for ferrying us along.
Pleasure to have you on my ship.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Does this ship have room for carts? Is this like a ferry?
Yes, carry carts and goods and settlers. Lots of people traveling the land seeking for new lives along the treasure expanse.
All right, I'll probably help Merrick then strapping down the cart and stabling meat, whatever we had to do.
All right.
Oh, I'm not stabling meat on the boat. I'm gonna have meat walk around with me, only because meat and I we travel the rivers and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where like we kind of like start telling stories about like this one time we were on a river and we went under what we thought was a waterfall. Turned out it was just a giant mimic. It was just water pretending to be a waterfall, and it scooped up the ship, slurped it up like noodles, and then just like that, 15 men dead, gone.
They can mimic water too?
Oh, I can tell you the things they could mimic. Why? You could have, the research says that every night when you go to sleep and you breathe in at least 10 mimics.
I wanted to fact check that.
Every night. Every night, 10 mimics?
Every single night.
Shay wants to
Fascinating.
see if this is an actual true story. Like try to do insight or something to figure out
So
if
funny.
this is a true story.
Because
she
B just does not believe it at all.
Yeah.
I don't even want to roll dice.
I feel like at this point I just do trust Merrick.
Like, I feel like Shay's like looking through notes and like trying to figure out.
I'm from the Feywild. We kind of invented making up batshit stories about where you're from.
All right. So,
Well, I
as you
guess how
guys,
true it is comes down to Puck, really. I mean,
a lot of people say that. Whether or not that makes it true is kind of up to you guys.
Is there one person named Mimics Georg who is an outlier?
Yeah.
of
This
the
is a
content?
statistical improbability, yeah.
Yeah, it just is
Mimics
these kinds of mimics every night.
So it takes a bit of time, and eventually the ship is kind of loaded up, and it slowly begins to putter its way away from the dock and start to float down river. And as it does, it's quite the stark contrast. As you look to the south, you see the town of Light's Watch kind of sprawled out and expanding with its high towers and scaffolding. And to the north, you just see emptiness. And occasionally through the trees, you see a snow-covered abandoned building. Because seemingly, north of flowing water always does seem to have a little bit of snow left behind, even in these mid-months. Near the peak of summer. And it's just such a contrast of this area full of life and another area seemingly devoid of anything. As you slowly make your way away from the dock, you guys are able to kind of make your way around the ship and notice that you're definitely not alone on this journey. There appears to be, including the captain, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 other passengers on the ship. With you guys. There is a handlebar mustached gnome with a large pipe and a big metal hat kind of sitting rounded on his head. There is a dark-haired woman with a big furry cloak and a gold medallion holding it together across her chest. Another woman looking quite young with long white hair, dressed in what appears to be ranger or adventurer's dress, kind of leaning over the side. What appears to be a couple consisting of a half-elf woman and an elven man, kind of peering over the edge. A gentleman clothed in a dark cloak, kind of tightly wrapped. And a family. A man with a beard and a little bit of a pointy mustache, with a dark-skinned woman and lovely braided hair done up to the back, and what appears to be their small daughter traveling with you. And on top of all that, a gentleman wearing a kind of wrapped hat, white floppy number on his head, covered in what appear to be nobles or merchants' robes, looking over the side as he travels along with you. And your boat slowly drifts along the sea as the scenery moves past, and everybody kind of mills about and finds their way, and what they intend to go about on the ship as you guys travel.
You guys know they're already sending families out this way? That seems kind of premature.
They sent them out the first year, even. I mean,
Really?
yeah, it's pretty common.
That just seems wildly irresponsible for an undiscovered land. You know, I can see one thing if a certain person has to go and it's like they got to bring their family with, but like sending a group with a kid out into the wilderness.
Well,
The wars left a lot of desperate people in every country.
I don't
It
think
doesn't
they're
take
going.
a lot to think that, you might have a better opportunity somewhere new.
And there are parts of here that are settled that are south of the river. I doubt they're here for the competition.
And I will have you know that I was actually traveling with my parents to areas that could be considered dangerous, and I felt very safe.
All right, I mean, fair enough. But well, like I
Lots
said,
of sights.
Your mom was a particularly, valuable person to have here in the early days, and so it makes sense that she just bring her family with. Again, maybe that's what they're doing. Does anybody recognize either of those folks?
Shay's going to lean forward with her glasses and kind of like try to see if anyone may look familiar, or it's something stand out on their person that would identify them.
Give me a perception check, please.
That is a nat 20 for 27.
All right. So, person who stands out the most are the gentleman with the white wrapped floppy hat standing up near the edge of the ship. His manner of dress and some of the symbols on his clothes are symbols consistent with the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company. You think that he might be a merchant trader that works with the company. And the other, the gnome, his large metal hat has a symbol on it that has something to do with one of the larger Calagarn companies. Probably one of the satchel seats. You're not entirely sure, but you're pretty sure V could probably pick it out for you.
Okay, so it appears that the gentleman with the floppy hat over there might actually be with the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company, and that gnome individual with the large metal hat, it's a very interesting choice of fashion, by the way. I believe he may be with Calagarn, and I don't know. I believe we should ask V about whether or not she may know this individual.
Do I recognize any insignias or the person?
The symbol appears to be of Fractal Futures, the technology seat of the Calagarn Golden Satchel organization. It's run by a gentleman by the name of Trillant Fractus, who is a very mysterious up-and-comer, the newest seat in the Golden Satchel.
New money. Tech bros. Yes, he is associated with Fractal Futures. They're one of the more emergent technological exploration, discovery sorts of seats. Trillian Fractus has definitely made more of a name for himself than I would say most. And would I be correct to assume that seat probably has more turnover compared to like the other really established ones?
It has turned over in the last 3 years, actually very recently.
Yeah,
It has turned over quite a bit because technology tends to be more competitive in the Caligarn Empire.
Yeah, very Silicon Valley vibes. Everyone's move fast, break things, all that good stuff. That seat tends to trade hands fairly often, so people tend to strike quick and strike hard if there's things that they want to get done while they're there. I would imagine sending people to the Treasured Expanse would be a great way to try and get ahead of any technological innovations that could be profited from. Either way, I don't want to talk to him.
Well, I'm quite curious about the gentleman who is with the Royal Trading Company. I think I'm going to approach and find out why exactly he's heading in this direction. So Shay's going to try to walk kind of towards this person. And she's like, she has a look that's like, kind of like, you can't tell if it's like friendly because she's kind of like squinting. So it could be interpreted as she approaches, like she's judging this person, but really she's just trying to figure out if she recalls any information further about this person.
Resting inquisitive face.
Yes. So it's like, yeah, it's just, that is the perfect like way to describe it. That's a new thing for Shay. We're going to keep that.
All right, as you approach him, he's kind of leaning against the railing towards the north, kind of looking out at the desolate landscape that lays out before him.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
Oh. You're Shay, aren't you?
Please, keep that part down. Yes, I am.
I recognize you from the announcement. The Shay, daughter of Lilith, talking to me.
Try to lower your voice, please.
Goodness.
Thank you.
Oh, I am blessed this day, madam.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. Again, what is your name? I'm so sorry.
Oh, my apologies. My name is Clint Wellsby.
Clint Wellsby. And do you work with either of my parents by chance?
Oh, no. I'm in the trading division. I move goods back and forth, purchasing raw goods and materials from trading posts, keeping an eye on stocks and that kind of thing. It's very boring work. Nothing like the exciting things that you and your family gets up to.
Oh, yes. There is not a boring day, that is for sure. But it's very interesting. I did not hear that they were going to be sending more people from the trading company.
We're always moving back and forth up and down the rivers. Why, even all the way out to Far Reach Post. Of course, that's the farthest place. I don't make it out that way very often, but we make trips to the fickle tundra to collect the knucklehead trout and all those kinds of things.
Oh, wait. I believe that my parents are actually over at the fickle tundra now, actually.
Oh yes, there's a joint archaeology thing over there. Big crater they've discovered in that area. I don't make it out into that area. I'm just moving fish and other goods.
Do you have any information? What exactly? How was the crater formed? What discoveries have they made? Any?
Oh, Miss Shay, that is all above my pay grade as a simple goods mover. I have no idea.
Okay, I'm sorry to bother you with that.
I can tell you this, and he leans in close with a bit of a sly whisper.
Yes.
Everyone is very excited about what they're finding there. I don't know what it is, but the whole area is abuzz.
Interesting. All right.
Now, you want to be careful out on these riverboats. Miss Shad, is this your first time traveling through?
It is. This is the furthest that I've traveled in this direction.
Let me give you a bit of a word of advice from a seasoned merchant traveler.
Mm-hmm.
These rivers have been prone to bandit raids of late.
Bandit raids?
Yes, be careful. They
Like
tend...
pirates?
Well, not necessarily pirates. I'm not sure if it's being on the water makes it piracy. Most of the time they don't necessarily have a ship. They'll extend wires across the river and come sailing down. Sometimes they even set agents among the passengers.
Interesting.
So be careful with whom you speak and what goods you happen to be flashing around.
And she's gonna kind of like start looking around, and she has that again. It's the resting inquisitive face. We're gonna keep that. But she is now like she's like narrowed like into her notebook, and she's just kind of like very interesting. Well, thank you for this information, Clint Wellsby.
Yes, Wellsby it is.
Wellsby. Okay. I should put in a good word. You were very helpful, and I wish you the best on your travels. Where are you going to?
Oh,
Are you also going to Haven's Gate as well?
Actually, I will be hopping off at Haven's Gate, but that's not my final destination. I'm heading into the hills to speak with some of the farmers.
Oh, is there something out there in the farmlands?
Oh, just nice goods. Occasionally you have to renew trade deals with some of them. They have a collective community union that they run at a community hall there, and I am the representative negotiator this year.
Oh, well, congratulations on that promotion.
Well,
And she's like, question mark.
it is a burdensome task. Most of the farmers prefer to keep their gains, and some prefer to sell their goods to the higher bidding Caligarn organizations, but I trust that we can put forward a persuasive argument this year.
Well, just so you know, and as she looks in the direction of the gnome with the large metal hat, just be aware, it seems like there is someone from Caligarn, someone high up who you might have to, well, just know that you're going to have to convince those individuals that obviously they should continue doing business with the World Trading Company.
Good instincts. I don't trust that one. That hat doesn't look new to me. Suppose he just pulled it off of some poor soul that died exploring. I would keep an eye on that one.
I don't know if that's just it's a choice to wear a hat of metal.
Conspicuous choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like the kind a raider might use when trying to blend in with others.
You see her writing down.
I would also take heed of the man in the cloak. Anyone who hides their face like that can't be trusted.
Oh, thank you. I have taken lots of notes. This was very informative. I really appreciate it. Again, I will put in a good word for you, Mr. Wellsby, and I won't take up any more of your time.
Of course, and if you need somebody to speak with on the long journey, I'm traveling alone and appreciate the company.
Oh, I don't think that anyone has ever told me that I am a good conversationalist, but there's always a first time.
Well, madam, there is a certain amount of bragging rights to come with traveling with such one as you.
Oh, thank you. I shall I'm going to go on my way now.
Farewell.
And then she walks away very awkwardly. She doesn't know how to deal with any compliments, any of that type of attention.
You leave behind the charming Clint Wellsby.
Rather than approach anyone myself, I'm going to take the opposite tact because I know I stand out and I know I'm pretty. I'm going to wander over by myself and see who wants to talk to me.
All right.
Draper definitely like walks over with her as she's pulled aside. Dulcinea,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta know the Duchess, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
is she? I mean, to my DM, like public knowledge, she's not betrothed or married or anything. Is she?
No, there's Akala Hisrali has a reputation for being fierce in all aspects of her life. And while she is rumored to have had many lovers, no ongoing committed relationships.
Are you aware of any suitors or plans or certain, pressure towards political alliances that she's involved in?
She doesn't really hang out in court. Political alliances or matches, not really. That doesn't seem to be her interest. She occasionally takes lovers, but I don't think anybody's stuck. I think a lot of people find her rather intimidating, or she just finds that they're not adventurous enough for her and can't keep up. Why?
Just trying to get kind of the political lay of the land.
Political.
Sort of, advantages or favors we might be able to gain throughout this whole
Favors.
expedition. Yeah.
Look, I think at the moment we've pretty much gained as many favors as we can get from her.
Sure.
I think if you want more favors, you're going to have to impress her.
Yeah. And the adventure aspect is kind of what's drawn her.
Yeah, she really likes hunting. She's sometimes better with animals than people.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, take down a giant stag, make her a cool headpiece with antlers. She'd probably be super into that.
Yeah, well, anything to help out the cause.
Mm-hmm.
Mission
The cause, yeah.
underway. Absolutely.
Okay. Good talk. Pat him on the big beefy bicep.
Yeah. How long is this trip anyway? Is there drinks on this thing? He kind of just wanders off towards whatever the little buildings are here on the ship.
There's a small shack, and it's kind of like a ferry boat shack. There's a bunch of people sitting, and there's a small stand with some basic kind of sundries, food and drink that's inside.
Yes, outstanding. That's what Trafer goes.
All right.
So Merrick sees everyone sort of starting to make their way around to talk to people, and immediately sort of spits over the side of the barge. He says, "Well, I guess I'll stay with the freaking cart then to make sure someone doesn't cut our wheels." And I'm going to have Meat sort of take position, kind of underneath the cart, just sort of like that's kind of where I imagine Meat, when just to stay in the shade and kind of be cozy, just kind of sits there, which also kind of keeps the interior of the wagon nice and cozy and warm because of how hot Meat is. Meat's not hot enough to start open flames, but there's always kind of that radiant heat that comes off him. Marek will start moving around and kind of again just doing repetitive checks over the cart, checking to make sure that all the lines are taut on the canvas, making sure that all the food stuff is there and things. And is Ren Gately kind of lurking on the ship where he is?
He is looking over this large, dark-cloaked man is seemingly looking over another cart.
Yeah, I'm gonna go around. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this guy, gonna move around to here as I'm doing my checks and stuff, and I'm just kind of keeping an eye on this guy, and just sort of if he catches a glimpse of me, I'll just kind of tip my hat, just kind of.
You tip your hat to him, and he kind of scowls and grunts and goes back to what he's doing.
You scowl at me, I'll scowl at you, bastard. Just okay, yeah.
Best to keep your mutterings to yourself, Goblin.
Oh yeah. I sort of look him up and down and was like, what a pity there's no one here that could make me shut up even if they wanted to. Especially someone that dresses up in a heavy cloak in the middle of summer.
You should count yourself lucky that no one has time for such a small task.
Oh, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people here that are wasting their time.
Yes, currently right now, speaking with meddlesome goblins.
And hitching up carts that ain't gonna get 10 miles out of any nearby town.
Who's to say I'm going to any town? You make a lot of assumptions.
Oh, I make a lot of assumptions, because you definitely ain't gonna survive anywhere else, mate. And I'll keep moving like kind of along.
Are these two gonna make out?
I'm definitely getting tension.
Yeah.
Enemy lovers vibes. Mhm.
Is it sexual tension? Is it murderous tension? Only
Just like
time
a
will
stream
tell.
from
Why not
across
both?
the boat.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Get a room! No.
I love it.
Eventually, this cloaked man goes to the other side of the cart to kind of avoid you.
Good. That's kind of what I wanted. I'll keep doing my. God damn it!
And you're approached by the gnome in the metal hat. You're a ranger, aren't you?
It depends. What's it to you, bub?
Ah, well, I'm looking for someone of just your talents. Glombus Puint is the name. Pleasure to meet ya.
I'll look. I imagine he's stretching out his hand, and Marek just
Yeah.
kind of looks it up and down. He
Squishes
says,
this pudgy little hand of
"Yeah, Marek doesn't take it. He turns and he says, and what can I do for you, Mister Puint?"
Ah, I'm an inventor, a discoverer of sorts. I need somebody to test my goods in the field, and you look like a worldly adventurer. In fact, I understand that you are on a particular expedition.
Yeah, might be.
He puffs on his pipe, and bits of sparks come out the front of it, and weird gears are turning on it as well. It seems unusually elaborate for a simple pipe.
The vape.
Yeah.
Look,
Cinnamon.
How many owns
I'm
it?
partial
Oh, that
to
like kiwi.
I'm partial to pineapple passion myself.
That's another good one, too. I see you're familiar with my work.
All right. Hey, listen. I'm a simple goblin, and you know I ain't necessarily familiar with all them newfangled technologies that folk be giving out. But you know, if you're giving away free junk, I mean,
All
I
right.
ain't gonna turn it down.
Well, I was just saying, we have some new products that we're rolling out. Particular arms for such an adventurer. People who favor combat at a distance, travel in the woods, that sort of thing. Would this be up
Yeah.
your alley?
Well, I wouldn't lie. Old Delilah's gotten me through more than my fair share of scrapes. He says, pointing at the kind of like crossbow that's been like kind of like there's like a driver's seat, like little hold that he keeps the crossbow in.
Certainly, and a fine weapon it is, I imagine. But imagine the accolades we would receive if Merrick, the adventurer, the explorer, were to make his way to the northeastern coast of the Treasured Expanse with one of the Fractal Future's firearms at his disposal, and certainly credited with his survival.
I do like alliteration. But how reliable is your fractal Flubermabarg?
Fractal Future's firearms. They're quite reliable, and they work at an incredible range. Devastating damage. I'll be able to give you a demonstration if you stop with me at Haven's Gate. My lab is there.
Marek looks at this guy up and down. Does he seem like the snake oil salesman? Like, from the other town?
Not as slimy, but definitely like he's trying to like... He's like, I see an opportunity for advertising. Like,
But not like, haha, check out this yacht.
And he's like, it should be fine. They hardly ever explode anymore.
Should be fine.
Yeah, he thinks about these words and he says, you know what? Couldn't hurt. Maybe we'll talk more when we get to Haven's Gate, but...
Of course. Give me but a 10-minute demonstration at my lab at Haven's Gate. If you like it, take it with you on your journey. I'm certain you'll find it a trusty companion.
You hear Meat growling from underneath the cart. Like, he kind of looks like a dog at this point, wondering what we're talking about. He's, like, stuck his head through the spokes of the wheel, and he's just like...
How bizarre.
Yeah, don't worry about old Meat. He gets a little bit possessive when folks talk to us too long.
Ah, that does give me an idea. Perhaps some kind of back-mounted cannon. I must go to my notes. I will speak with you again soon.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And Columbus Quint heads out on his way.
Did you say
what'd you
Columbus
think?
Quint was a gnome?
Yes. Because
What'd
they
you
are
think?
always gnomes.
Because they're always fucking gnomes.
Well, well, now you can mix it up and have auto gnomes.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go, see?
They've got
How
good
do you
news
know?
for everyone.
How do you know this isn't an auto-gnome? How do you know this isn't living tissue over an auto-gnome endoskeleton?
Yeah, there you go, see? It was me the whole time. The keeper of the amusement park. And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for you meddling goblin.
Absolutely.
I'll turn to Meat and just quickly say, hey, Meat, what do you reckon of this guy? You smell good? You see the Meat's kind of like, just sort of like it has a very pensive look over his face, and he sort of breathes out smoke from his nose. And he goes, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Oh well, yeah. I mean, hey, you got no problem exploding, right? And you watch as he just sort of shuffles back underneath the cart.
All right. Does anybody else have anyone else they wish to interact with on the boat?
I don't have anyone that V necessarily wants to interact with, but I do think they just sort of take this time. Is sitting on top of the cart like the highest up we can be on the ferry?
Yeah, it's kind of the highest point on the ferry right now. Most of the
Yeah.
structures are very squat.
I figured, what with wind resistance and all that good stuff. I'm gonna sit up there and I think just kind of enjoy being in a relatively peaceful moment on the river. We're about to go to I don't know, hell, maybe, no one knows. But I think spending so much time in Caligarn, V really does appreciate moments like this that remind them of where they came from and home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm seeing if anybody will approach me, because I think that's the most... I'm trying to see if there's anybody interested in us, rather than the other way around.
This small girl approaches you.
Oh.
And she just kind of walks up, and she's got a yellow ribbon in her hair, and she's got kind of a hanging ponytail off the back, and her hair is done up in a series of braids, and she kind of looks up at you. Are you a princess?
No, I wish I was. But no, just a courtier. Your hair ribbon is very beautiful, though. You look like a princess, too.
Oh, thank you. My mommy gave it to me.
Your mommy has very good taste. It would be very beautiful at court.
Oh, I don't know if I'll ever go to court. We're going to a new home.
Oh, yeah? You're very brave to come out here.
Dad says he has a nice place picked out for us. We're gonna grow vegetables, and I get to have my own pets.
I used to keep sheep. They were kind of like pets.
Sheep?
Mm-hmm.
Were they fluffy?
So fluffy. You'd have to shear them every year so that they wouldn't get too fluffy and overheat.
Could you play any games with them?
I wouldn't play games with them, but I would play music for them. Sometimes the same.
The sheep would listen to your music?
I mean, a lot of people will listen to music if you're good enough.
Oh, wow.
What kind of
Sometimes I
pets?
sing when I'm happy.
You should sing to your pets then. They usually appreciate it.
Oh, maybe I will.
What kind of pets are you gonna get?
Oh, I don't know. Dad says there's a lot of new animals out here. Maybe I'll find an all-new pet that nobody's ever seen before.
Just be a little careful, because some of them can be a bit bitey. But, yeah, I bet you could meet a whole bunch of new animals out here. Maybe
I'll be
become an expert
careful.
on them.
I hear there's big rabbits and nice birds, too.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of good things out here, too, even if there's some scary things. You just stick close to your parents. I mean, try to keep safe, okay?
Okay. My name's Daniela, by the way.
I'll get down so that I'm, like, on her level and speaking to her. I'm Dulcinea. It's very nice to meet you, Daniela.
Nice to meet you, Dulcinea. And her mother comes over.
Yeah,
shortly
like,
after.
give her parents a wave to acknowledge that I am talking to your child.
I'm so sorry. Is she bothering you?
Oh, no, it's fine. She's very sweet.
Oh, she's so excited and curious for this journey that we're on.
Curious is good out here. It's a good land to be curious in. Discover new things. You're all
Yes.
very brave.
Well, we lost a lot over the last few years, so we've...
A lot of people have. Where used to be home.
We're from Ramvali. We're from some of the border territories, as you know what happened there.
I'm very sorry. I'm from the border territories on the other side. I know what happened. Just slightly different perspective.
It was rough on both sides, I understand.
No one at the borders got off well. Tragedy just all around. Doesn't matter whose fault it is. And it doesn't matter now because it's over. And, well, we both ended up here anyways.
Yes. We have a new life here. My husband, Declan, she motions to a man, lovely beard, kind of a curly mustache, and kind of smiles warmly as he comes up beside her. Was able to acquire some land for us out in the Fickle Plains. And we're hoping it will be the start of a new life.
Do I know where the Fickle Plains are? Is it safe? Is it?
It is some of the
vibe?
most. It's some of the easternmost territory. It's not fully explored. It's kind of partially explored and still being settled.
Well, you are just a very curious family indeed. That's way out on the borders.
Well, you have to go further and further east these days to find land that has not been taken.
Well, I hope it suits you well. And you seem to be in good company. There's more people out here than I would have thought, so I think you'll do well.
I hope we remain safe on this journey. You
Me
seem
too.
to have capable companions.
I look over at, like, Merrick underneath the cart being grumpy and, like, Shay sputtering with people and Trafer, like, blushing and doing whatever lovesick thing he's doing over there.
Trafer is fully at the bar by now,
Mm-hmm.
talking to whoever.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, we'll have a conversation.
We'll say Rissia comes to see you, the woman with the long white hair.
Yeah, I, like, look him over and I'm like, yeah, I think they'll be okay companions out here.
I hope we stay safe out here. I hear there are many dangers out in this treasured expanse.
There are, but there were many dangers back home, too. You survived that. You can survive this.
I'm certain we will find a better life.
Yeah, and I'll hold out my hands to the two parents to shake their hands.
Oh, pleasure to meet you. I'm Vislani.
Dulcinea.
And this, of course, is Declan, our daughter Daniela. But thank you. If you wish to speak with us, we'll probably be hanging out inside for a while.
And likewise, I don't think we're going anywhere very quickly.
Of course. And they depart and head into the inner structure as well. And if nobody has any further interactions, the ship begins to noticeably slow as it rounds the bend of the river, heading towards the south, leading to Haven's Gate. And as it does, it passes through areas of large forest on both sides. And the boat begins to slow a bit more. And eventually, what appears to be 4 bolts shoot across the river and into a nearby tree on the other side. And behind the bolts are trailing long ropes. And swinging down from those ropes comes 5 individuals. What appear to be 4 kind of gruff-looking bandit-ly type fellows, and a woman with a kind of short, kind of pixie-cut hair, and she has a long, dazzling sword and kind of a flowing cape. And they all drop hard on the deck of the ship. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tesselery, and I am a bandit extraordinaire, and these are my men. And we have come today to relieve you of your valuables. Give them up easily, and no one will be harmed. Do we have an agreement? And the men, like, arm up with crossbows, ready, kind of watching everybody.
This little, like, interior sort of portion, is it, like, walled off, or is it just kind of like a cabana? Like, what's the deal with this? Like, how much is going on inside here?
There's, like, it's almost like a lean-in. Like, there's a lot of windows around the edges, so you can see outside.
Hell? Traver kind of gets up and just, like, walks out to the door. The hell? Were you guys here before?
No, we just dropped in. And we'd love for you to give up our valuables, starting with that fabulous axe of yours.
Trafer just immediately starts laughing. To him, this is his funniest personal joke. Oh, valuable! This? He takes it off his back and just kind of like holds it in front of him. Yes, look at the fine craftsmanship. One of a kind. Can't find an axe like this anywhere. Do you have any idea what I mean, how do you determine value, personally?
It's got gems. Look, anything that shines, gold, silver, gems, all of it, pile it up. We have a sack. Please hand over all of it. No one needs to get hurt. And certainly if anyone's concerned about your dear captain, and she motions towards the back of the ship, and you can see Clint Wellsby holding a dagger to the captain's throat.
While Trafer is distracting them, Marek is like underneath the cart with meat. He's gonna try and just sneak up and grab his crossbow, like just kind of like pull it quietly underneath the cart.
Y'all want to do Plan H? Plan H, guys? Out loud.
You know you are going to get a scathing review. I will let you know. I am going to let my parents know and Mr. Walpole about your actions, sir.
Say what you want. I stole this from a body.
Trafer kind of looks towards Dulcinea. Seriously? Straight H?
I mean, they're holding a dagger to our captain's throat.
I'm
That's
gonna
a physical
grab
threat of violence.
All right.
Plan H would be faster.
I am going to grab a little bit of fairy dust and blow it on them. I'm just going to cast fairy fire on all the bandits right now. Get that out of the way.
Yeah,
All right.
Trafer's just like, all right. Orders from the superiors, and he holds his axe out in front of him, and can I make you a deal? I'll give you the gems out of it. Just let me keep the axe. I kind of need it out here, yeah?
Certainly, a fair trade.
Okay, thanks. Do you have any sort of jeweler tool that he sets it down and he like takes out like a little dagger and starts like digging at the gems in his axe.
What do you give me a hand with this or something?
Troy, go give him a hand.
Also, at some point when it's convenient, they all need to make dexterity saving throws.
All right.
Just whenever it's casual, whenever it feels right.
Whenever you want to launch into it, we'll just.
As Troy starts coming over, Traver's like digging at it, and he'll like try to get him down like towards it, and he'll be like, here, let me help you get some leverage here. Traver's going back to hold on to the handle, and as soon as Troy has his head down, I am doing a full wheel and coming straight over the back of his head with the blade.
All right. And V, I think that's as good a cue as any.
Yeah.
And we'll do all of those, and we'll roll initiative right after the break.
Damn. All right. We'll be back.
We'll be back in a little bit.
First combat. Let's do it. Back in 15 minutes.
Hello, and welcome back to Last Light. I like to take this moment at the halfway point of the show to say I'm a very lucky dungeon master, because I get to play with all these cool people here. And I'd like to take this moment to let them tell you about the things that they do out there in the internet, in reverse order of how I introduced them, starting with our very own Trafer Grok. Tell us, Great Trafer, tell us about yourself.
Hey, I play Trafer. My name is Jonathan. I'm also the producer here. If you hit me in the chat command, wait, I can do this. Hey, if you want to know anything about our characters or our DMs, you just hit ! and the name of that person, and you get their links right there. And if you check out my links, you'll find a few things. You'll find a great podcast done under the Mercs of Mischief banner with the wonderful dungeon master, Dead Aussie Gamer. Perhaps you've heard of him. If not, you will soon. As well as another wonderful TikToker / TTRPG content creator / podcaster known as Blackthorn's Apothecary. So be sure to check that stuff out. Also check out my Etsy store. I 3D print things, and check out all the stuff Mercs of Mischief does, because at this point, it's mostly me pushing buttons behind the scenes when it comes to live stuff. But you know what? I want to take a second just right now to say, if you're interested in producing content like this, tabletop RPGs, hit me up. Hit me up over on Twitter or join our Discord and shoot me a message there, because I'm interested in sort of finding some more community of people who want to learn how to do this stuff and kind of get some industry standards in place, if you will. So yeah, talk to me. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you so much. Shay, tell us about yourself.
Before we get to who I am, I think that we're forgetting something kind of important for those who might be tuning in for the first time. What are these little golden circles with the number or lack of thereof? What is that?
That's an excellent question, because our party members are about to go into battle. So you guys can certainly donate to help our dear friends in need, to give them points and credits that they can use for re-rolls or advantages, or for a little cutscene, a flashback, if they desperately need it. If they're in dire straits, they can flash back to a previous moment to give them strength and succeed in a difficult task. And you can fuel these interactions through your own donations with the, if you go ahead and hit !tip, you'll have all the details there to connect you to all that right there. And the more that you give will fuel a thing that maybe I could do, at some point. It's not important what it is, but, it's just some chaos that I get to have. A bucket tips over, and what is ever in the bucket, who knows? We'll see. But thank you for highlighting that, Shay.
Yeah, I had no real motives behind that at all. Not at all. Not at all. Of course not.
No.
No. Hi guys. I play Shayneth, or as everybody calls her, Shay Valaris. And I am Utahime. I'm a cosplayer. I'm hopefully gonna get back to streaming on my own channel, but I've been on everybody else's but my own. So please bear with me. It is a process, guys. And also too, I host. I am up to lots of TTRPG shenanigans, and I am the community manager over at Cyber Nation Uncensored and the Initiative Order. So if you're interested in, coming and rolling more, dice with friends, come hit me up. And I am going to be doing something really, really fun tomorrow. I'm going to be on the Red Hair Inn, Ecrium Expeditions as my little cinnamon roll. Fanara, you have to try to check it out. It's a great campaign. That's at 5 p.m. Pacific time over on the Red Hair Inn. And then also too on Wednesday is the premiere of our Leverage tabletop game, which I'm super excited for. Leverage Los Angeles, and that's over on Open Circuit Studios, and that's at 5 p.m. Pacific time over there. And then if you happen to be in Los Angeles, Pick Your Poisons Productions has this amazing event called the Roguelike Rumbles, where basically you are doing a battle royale live in front of all of the different bar patrons who are there, the tavern patrons. So if you want to come check me out and see if I survive as my monk, my wood elf monk who can move crazy distances and hit people very fast, please check it out. Go to Pick Your Poisons Productions page to check it out for all the information on how to get your tables reserved, and that's at 8 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday and at the Roguelike. And I hope to see you guys there. There's more things. If you want to see what else I'm up to, please check out my social media, and I think that there's some type of something you could do in the chat to get that information, but pass it along.
Should be up there.
Should be right.
Thank you so much.
I think it should work on YouTube as well. Let's try it out. Quick question though, Shay. What is your character like role in the Leverage game?
Oh, yes. So I am playing the thief, but I'm a thief hacker because my girl Locke, let's just say it's in the name, she knows how to get herself into any safe, anything with a lock. Doesn't matter if you know what it is, she's gonna get in there. And she's going to do it with style. So definitely check it out. I'm super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. My thief is a bit of an adrenaline junkie. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of daring feats for sure. I should probably mention, because I know that my GM Rob is going to be upset if I don't mention it. Cyber Nation Uncensored, check out Team Nevermore, 5 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. I cannot forget that game because I know that he's going to be like, why did you mention it? So check it out. I just joined Team Nevermore, a Cyberpunk Red game. So much fun. I've been having a blast with that system as well. If you have not played any Cyberpunk, do it. Also, too, Edge Runners just came out, or it's coming out tonight at 10 p.m., I think, on Netflix. That show is really good. I got a chance to see the first 3 episodes, and it's so good. Anime.
Check it out.
Watch it. It's good. Studio Trigger, man. Amazing work.
Oh, Studio Trigger always does such good work. Thank you so much. V, tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name's Amelia Som. You can find me most places at Amelia Som, or by going to links.ameliasom.com, or clicking any of the links that are dropped in the chat. Eventually someone will get to it, or I'll get to it. In addition to here, where I am Monday nights for the foreseeable future, on Wednesdays you can catch me on the podcast Guild Fellows, a Star Wars 5e adventure. We're finally in space for the first time this season, so ship battles, that's fun. Oh wait, well, yeah. Anyways, Thursdays on the show Subdatum over at Total Party Kiss on Twitch, where we're playing Die RPG. I am playing a dictator, and I just realized my superpowers basically make me Kilgrave from Jennifer Jones, and I don't know how I feel about that. And then Fridays, you can find me. Yeah, I was like thinking about that today, and I was like, oops. Fridays, you can.
I don't know.
True. Sorry, never mind. You can find me. I was just thinking about David Tennant, and then I was thinking about Gloria Tennant, and then I just got on a whole thing in like the span of a half second.
Oh God.
Fridays, Offbeat Outlaws YouTube channel, Paperwork Pantheon. We're gods. We're fucking shit up. We just had a big boss battle, so if you joined it this Friday, I guess you can figure out what the next arc is, because I don't know what's going on now. We killed the bad guy, and I'm sure everything's gonna be fine forever.
Everything's gonna be just a-okay.
Yeah, that's how God games work, right?
Absolutely.
You're the Pantheon of Order, and then the Pantheon of Chaos is like, well, you defeated a Chaos God, so now we're just done.
No bad
Guess we'll
things
go
will
home.
ever happen ever again.
Yes, we'll go home.
All right, Dulcinea, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Arcady. I'm a cosplayer and a professional makeup artist, and I usually hang out on Twitter, so you can follow me there. Other tabletop stuff I'm doing is you can catch me here at the same time on Wednesdays, where I am in our DM Kai's game of Those Lost, playing a less mean character, and that's pretty cool. Otherwise, you can find me hanging out on my Twitter where I make things. Might make an axe this weekend or help make an axe this weekend. Definitely going to post pictures of my cat who says hey.
Oh.
So you can find us hanging out there. I think Dulcinea is kind of mean. She's a little bit mean. My other character is much nicer. Let's put it that way. Oh, and I'm caught in my headphones, so I'm going to mute and finish. Okay, bye.
Okay. And last but not least, Merrick. Merrick, tell us about yourself.
Hello, hi, g'day guys. My name's Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and quite honestly, it's just better to Google me. That's the pitch. Just Google it. I am everywhere. I am everyone. We are all dag. No. You can find me on my channel over at Dead Aussie Gamer at twitch.tv/Dead Aussie Gamer, where I just hang out and I play Patreon games and stuff. But more than anything, I jump around from channel to channel, creating really cool and highly memorable games, as well as featuring an incredible memorable games. I think the special events I've got currently up are, of course, the amazing show here at Mercs of Mischief, PD&D with, of course, the amazing and wonderful John, who's, like just playing one of the most lovable characters I've ever met. Not to say that, of course, our dear friend... Yeah, I know, another memorable... and another, of course, memorable individual in Blackthorn's Apothecary. And I am the GM of that game, and it is a podcast, and you can go find it. It's in places that have our faces not really there, but there. In addition, on Wednesdays... aka Tuesdays for the folks in the US, I'm over on Careful Cantrip as Basil, who is I haven't told anyone what he is, but haha, I almost did. No, he's something. He is somewhat of a storyteller wizard kind of creature, and we're in a cool game over by the amazing talented DM Dave. So yeah, go check out Careful Cantrip for that. And on my channel, I've got a special event on Saturday mornings for me, which is Friday nights for most folk, where I'm playing Spelljammer with the guys from Roll for Initiative. So Roll for Initiative is a great channel that does like a whole bunch of advice videos and review videos. They're running Spelljammer for me over on my channel, so you can come check that out then. And last but not least, end of the month is going to be my birthday, and I'm bringing a whole bunch of my collaborative friends to come and help out in some way, shapes, or form with a big D&D Iron Chef battle. Advertising for it hasn't gone out yet, but it will hopefully towards the end of the week this week. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. Basically, people play D&D characters, they make food based off D&D monsters and stuff like that. We've got people like Robert Hartley GM, Quincy's Tavern, and a bunch of other people who are coming out of the woodworks to come and just battle it out, as it were. Yeah, that's me.
So for this Iron Chef battle, are you going to be modeling your DM style after the original Japanese version chairman or the Iron Chef America chairman?
It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. I want to do both, but I've actually got Guy from How to Be a Great GM to do the recipe announcement. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be kind of putting his own... We're doing our own flair on things. Yeah, but I'm trying to also figure out what yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be just the same level of extra, with lots of audience participation. So literally stuff like you can turn their cooking implements into mimics. You can literally call out a la flambe and something sets on fire. You know, like there's just it's kitchen chaos. It's
usual.
gonna be so much fun.
That's wonderful. You know, it's so great when shows let audience kind of interact with the show, and that's a cool thing that you guys can do. Just a reminder, one more time, like Shay mentioned, if you for every $5 that you tip to the cast here tonight, you can assign one chaos token, and we'll stack those up. One token gives us advantage on a roll, and 5 tokens gives us a flashback, which basically lets us just retcon whatever we need for the moment. And of course, if that meter fills, then Pucks makes everybody's life real bad.
They look not necessarily bad. Anyways.
Okay. Interesting.
Interesting.
We'll
Let's
do
go
that.
with interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm Puck. I'm the Dungeon Master here. I get to be a player on Wednesdays, so that's cool. I make videos sometimes. You can watch them on Puck and Talk. But also, I made this world that we're playing in here from scratch. This is a complete homebrew. This is the deepest I've ever gone with a homebrew world. And I made this in such a way, my dream for this was to make it in such a way that anybody could just hop into the information that I have out for this world and start making their own stories and their own campaigns in this world. So you actually go into World Anvil, look up Treasured Expanse, you'll see everything I've put into there. And if you want to build the world along with me, start running your own adventures, there's a lot of ways you can get in there through World Anvil and do that kind of stuff. So that's out there, available for you guys. Let's go on an adventure. And so that is all for now. Let us get back into it. When last we left our heroes, their peaceful riverboat trip was being attacked by bandits, raiders, who have come onto the ship, led by the bandit queen of the forest, Tricelery.
Let's not forget the betrayer.
Yes, and betrayer Clint.
I'm still writing that scathing review.
If that even is his name.
If that is even his real name.
I didn't even think of that.
Probably something
So-
like Trick Carrot.
Let's go with this one. That's
it's
the wrong one. Let's go with
It's been
this
so long since we've heard the combat music.
one. Right? It's been a while.
I'm like, yeah.
Let's go with this combat
Let's
music.
go.
Let's go.
That's all right. There we go. This we'll go with this fight music. Yeah. All right. So guys, I'm gonna need initiatives, and they're coming through. We got 12 for Trafer, 20 for Dulcinea,
Dulcinea.
14
I'm
for
gonna
V-
correct you every time you get
Dulcinea.
it wrong.
14 for V. I was so good for so long.
Okay.
And Shay, what is yours?
I don't roll on D20 or roll 20 often, so I don't know the command here. So I am trying to do that now. Sorry.
So, fun tip, if you're using Roll20 and
There we
D&D
go.
Beyond, and you're using the Beyond 20 extension to link the two, when you roll initiative, you have to make sure you first go into Roll20 and click on your token, and then roll initiative over in D&D Beyond. Otherwise, it won't get into the initiative track.
Oh, wait. Oh, I don't know if I
It's
connected the two.
overly complicated.
Yeah, because you use Brave instead of Chrome, right?
Yes, I use
Yeah, I
Brave.
think that was the issue. I don't think Beyond 20.
I don't know if
Even, which is weird because Brave is based off of Chrome, but like they probably, I don't know.
Yeah,
Shay,
I
what
got
is your-
issues.
Shay, what is your bonus to initiative?
So my bonus to initiative is a +4, so that means that it would be the 16.
All
You
right.
can also add that into your roll command, like roll 1d20 and then space and like +4,
Okay, good to know.
All
just to
right.
save you some math.
So,
Can I roll physical dice after this?
absolutely.
yeah, we announce our rolls. So
Like, it's
you can
gonna
roll
be-
physical dice all you
Oof.
want.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, top of the round is Bandit 2. But before we do that, Trafer was swinging an axe, so I will give him his axe swing.
Oh yeah.
Ahead
All
of time.
right.
But you don't
me
get
see
the
your
advantage
axe
of the
swing.
fairy fire because it happened at the same time.
Hey, that's
But
all
I'll
good.
give you-
So I had the axe kind of laying there flat, like
Yeah.
on the deck, and I wasn't touching it. And the premise was that as he was digging out, I was going to hold the back of the handle. And as he's going at it, I just pull it out from under him and fucking wheel around and come down straight. Trafer's gut is lying flat, and his gut is to bring it back down flat again.
All right.
But the boss said plan H. So it does a quarter turn in the air, and blade comes straight down.
All right. Let's see that swing. Here we go.
That is a 4.
That is enough to hit these guys.
Okay, outstanding.
They're but simple bandits.
Ooh, level 3.
Great. So we'll do 7 points.
So your axe carves hard into his shoulder and buries almost deep into the chest until it catches onto ribs. And he's just like, screaming as your initial strike spills blood on the deck of this ship.
Trafer just looks up at the rest of them, places his boot down on the back of this guy's neck, and pulls his axe out as he goes,
Last chance to leave, motherfuckers!
Shoot him! And Bandit 2, who you just carved up, does not shoot you because he is right in front of you. And he is instead going to swing at you with a small, thin blade. He just draws it up and tries to swing at you in anger. And here it comes. Ha-ha! How does a 10 grab you, Trafer?
It does it
not grab you at all? So he feebly waves his blade at you, bleeding out on the deck.
Kick his arm.
All right. Dulcinea.
I'm going to draw my rapier with my right hand, and with my left, I just flick my wrist, and a little silvery tendril shoots out straight down this line to Celery, Bandit 3, and Bandit 1, and I cast Bane on them. So they need to make charisma saving throws.
Very well. Got a 10 for Celery, 16 for Bandit 1, and 6 for Bandit 3.
All right, so 3 and Celery are baned and must subtract 1d4 on saving throws or attack rolls. And as a bonus action, who's next in line? Or who's in line of sight? V. I'll give V inspiration.
Very well.
Plan H, it's the optimal business model.
All right, V has inspiration. Bandit 4 separates from his group a bit and aims with his light crossbow and fires a shot at V. Twang with a 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of rude.
V gets pierced with 6 damage as a crossbow bolt catches you in the upper body.
Fuck. I just turn around and I blow glitter and then seems like a bit of an overreaction.
You're really escalating this.
Yeah.
Shay, it is your move. Oh, I almost forgot.
Okay. So Shay is she's going to put up her hands, and she's going to say, even though you are lying scum, listen, I am willing to make a deal if you unhand our captain. I happen to have a pointer, and then basically her spectral hand that looks like her own, but it's golden, is going to have within it, next to her, the piece of the Expanse steel.
Ooh.
This could be yours. You are very well aware, being a part of the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company, or maybe you're not. But if you are, you would know how valuable this is. Even just a small smidgen of this.
I know what expanse steel is. I'll gladly take it to spare the captain's life.
But we must walk towards each other for the exchange. I will take the captain, who will not be harmed, and you will take the steel from Pointer.
Very well.
Voice is yours.
I'll escort him out of the wheelhouse, and I'll just bring him up to you. Deal?
Deal.
All right. But you kind of have to wait for my turn.
Yes,
Maybe
no,
it's like
no.
6 seconds from now.
Yeah. I just wait like 6 seconds.
No, it's just basically this deal is like, I'm trying to like do this negotiation while everything else is happening.
All right. So, he agrees to your terms, and he'll come out to see you shortly. Merrick!
So where's the exit to the house that he's in?
The wheelhouse, there's a door around the back, and then it's like covered in windows around the sides.
All right. So Marek is going to whistle to Meat, and both he and Meat are going to get into position and ready in action to basically maul and shoot in the head Clint when he comes out to try and make the deal.
Very well.
So I'm just imagining, like, if it's at the back, then he's come out here and Meat's kind of gone to just over there-ish. Actually, you know what? Nah, Meat can come over here with me. Yeah, there we go. And we're gonna kind of stay low so that we're underneath the windows. Do you know what I mean? Like, just kind of like scurrying that way.
All right. Very well. Your action is held. Your circumstances are logged. V,
Good.
what have you?
Well, I plan H, and I just take the closest person in front of me, banded 4, and I'm gonna do my best to fuck them up.
All right.
I pull out my tiny little fairy-sized rapier, and I'm just gonna needle at his throat.
All right. Needle strike. You have advantage.
It's advantage.
And inspiration.
And inspiration.
I think the natural 20 will hit.
Yeah,
So,
I'm pretty
is
sure
that-
it do. I'm pretty sure it do.
Okay. just checking, So that's 15 damage.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah, I'd go like straight for the jugular.
You kill him. You just come in with one swipe, and his head like tilts back but doesn't come off, and just kind of clumps.
Yeah,
he collapses in a heap.
I'd like to think that. So what happens? I blow glitter. I get hit with the crossbow, and I like stab it. It gets stuck, and I have to like pull it out, and it just falls over. All right. And then I look at the other bandits. I'm also floating at like human head height. And I'll let them come to me. I'll just get right here.
All right then.
And I'm gonna go ahead and use my. I'm not gonna use my bonus action to second wind. I'll do that later.
All right then.
I hope I won't regret that.
I'm gonna hold on to that. All right, Tricelery pulls out her fabulous rapier and runs up on Dulcinea.
Yep.
Says, "You couldn't just make it easy, could you? What do you have that's so valuable you can't part with?"
Just look at my outfit.
Oh, please, hardly the dress for this kind of weather.
Are you gonna fight or are you gonna talk? Because I already picked.
All right, and she swings her rapier at you.
She needs to subtract a d4.
She do. Do you want to roll it or should I?
You can roll it.
All right. -4 brings it to a 13.
She does not hit because of that.
All right, and then she swings in again on a backhand swing with her rapier.
That will hit, even if you would take away a d4.
Okay. -2.
Yep, that'll hit.
She manages to place a grazing cut on you for 6 damage, and then she kind of dazzles with her rapier a little bit. Ha ha! And as she cuts you, you feel a bit of your life being pulled into the blade of this sword.
Fancy trick. I will say to her out loud.
You have no idea what this fabulous blade is capable of, but I'll be happy to show you.
Still won't save you. And I glance at my companions who are just ripping the shit out of people. So proud of them.
Stop dying, you cowards!
Except Shay, who's making some deal at the other end.
Shay's doing amazing.
All right, Bandit 3 is going to step over here to the edge and make a crossbow shot at Trafer. Light crossbow shot at Trafer for a 9.
Which also has a d4 subtraction.
He's also baned to a 6. Woof.
Good, that 9 was real close, I'm sure.
Traver's doing something with his axe. You can't quite see what it is, but it looks like it's gonna be real cool. And it just dings off the handle by accident.
Just bounces off.
It's total
no
accident.
No problem at all. So, ha-ha!
Accident? Oh, God.
And Trafer, it is your turn, sir.
I would actually like to try to make an unarmed strike at Bandit 2 here.
Very well.
In my
Advantage.
18 hit.
You have advantage, so might as well roll for a crit.
Sure.
All right, yeah, 18 does it.
Second one's in that. Or, it would be a... so with the 18, I am going to... Actually, I've kind of got him. I feel like I'm kind of over him, right? And so I force him to the ground, and I pin down his head using sort of the curved top of the axe. I've got the axe head down.
Right,
into the
I
back
got
of
you.
the ship, right?
Yeah.
So his neck's sort of pinned down, and you see Trafer wind up and just kick this guy in the head. It's like that scene in Misery, but with a head.
All right, then. Kick to the head.
And I will go ahead and roll the damage on that. 5.
All right. He is dead unless you were trying not to kill him specifically.
Oh, no. Trafer was trying to very dramatically snap this guy's neck in front of his friends and use this as an intimidation play. And he's going to turn towards the rest of the bandits and say, "Are you going to drop your fucking weapons, or do I get to get real creative?"
Plan H. Plan H. Plan H.
This is a bad pull, boss.
Plan G was to knock them unconscious, but we went straight to H.
Straight to H.
Straight to H. All right. Trafer, if you have nothing further.
One murder is enough for this round.
Bandit 1 is going to back up and try and fire a light crossbow at you again. This one is not baned, but I don't imagine a 10 does it.
No.
All right. And...
He just kind of fucking swings out of the way and stares in this guy's eyes.
I'm just gonna put this here. It's probably nothing to worry about. Just gonna move that up a little bit. All right. So next up, we've got Bandit 2, who is dead. So dead people don't get turns. It's a harsh policy, but I stick by it. And then we have Dulcinea.
I'll lean into her to Celery real close. And all the fancy gear in the world can't save you when you're so weak. And I cast Dissonant Whispers on her. So she needs to make a Wisdom saving throw, which she will have to subtract her D4 from because she's also baned.
All right. Well, she got a 10.
Yep. So she's gonna take that roll damage with it. Yeah, she's gonna take 7 psychic damage, and she needs to move as far away from me as possible. Which I'm just gonna throw out. Could be in the water if she.
It could be in the water. All right. She is going to actually move this way instead. She's not going to get into the water. All right, Clint. If Dulcinea has
she has to move her entire speed, so she does have to take
speed.
as much speed as she can use.
Okay, let me go the full distance then. Here, okay.
There you go.
Right back there. All right, Clint kind of shoves the ship captain and attempts to move back and take him out. Merrick, are you taking your shot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So is Clint the first one to come out, or is the? Actually, no. I'll wait. Yeah,
Clint backs up with the captain and kind of shifts him to the front of him.
Yeah, perfect. So so that's what I'm gonna do. So as this happens, there's just this kind of short whistle as Meat runs around the corner, and the way that Meat runs, because he's a wyvern and not a dragon, he actually runs almost like a velociraptor with his wings tucked to his side and his tiny little claws kind of pointed forward, his back legs kind of propelling him as he leaps and attempts to maul at Clint. As Marek steps out and fires in the same direction as Meat, I'm going to use the following.
All right.
First of all, there is a bite attack that comes from Meat as he tries to bite this dude.
Very well.
And does he have advantage? Because technically he was looking at me because we were making that negotiation. So that means that he.
Yes, true.
I mean,
I'll give it to you as a distraction, so I'll give him advantage. Yes.
because he's looking at the steel in Pointer's hand.
He's so enthralled by this delicious prize that you've laid out in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that is an 18 on Meat.
Yeah, an 18 is a hit.
All right. After which, let me get this going here. All right. So Meat will deal 7 points of damage as he bites into the back end of Clint.
And beast!
As I fire my crossbow, Meat's flames actually set it on fire, dealing an extra d6 points of damage if I can hit with Marek's crossbow.
Very well. Swing with advantage, sir.
Oh, I might need it.
Oh dear.
Okay, so that is
there we go.
Boom! 21.
21 is a hit, sir. Let's see some damage.
All right. So that is 11 and an extra 4 fire damage.
All right.
So a total of
15 plus
22 damage.
All right. He is still alive.
Ooh.
Clint is a tougher boy than the rest of them, and he kind of shoves the captain forward.
In which case, I'm also going to use Fury of the Small and add an extra 2 damage to it.
Very well.
Because he's bigger than me, and I'm little.
All right, an extra 2 damage, but he is still going.
Dang it!
Wasn't quite enough. He's a little bit a stronger guy. He's a lieutenant in this brigand's army. Shay, you're up.
Shay, after that attack took place on Clint, she will go forward. And did the captain seem like he had any injuries at all?
He's been shoved forward. He's kind of stumbling, but he seems very concerned about something else right now.
Okay, well, she's going to interpret that as him being hurt. You're not only a liar, you also too don't hold true to your word, so you shall feel the Valorous wrath. And then she goes forward and she unsheathes her rapier. And as she does that, as she flicks her blade upwards, she is doing her special ability. And it's first she's going to be marking this individual with the sand that is a part of her her ability, which is called Dust of the Past. So basically, once per turn, I can basically, it's like almost as if they have dust that's thrown into their eyes from out of nowhere that comes from her weapon to blind said enemy. So I need a dexterity saving throw.
Very well. Dex save from Clint is a 6. You did not.
That is a fail. So basically, Clint is now blinded.
Clint, oh no! Shot in the back and blinded.
As she comes down with her blade, she's going to be doing that extra damage as well. So let's see if the roll hits. Okay, and that is a 17.
17 is a hit.
Alrighty, let's see. So that is going to be 5 points of damage, but also too, I'm adding that D6. So give me 1 second. And that is 5 additional points of damage.
He is down. Clint is slain.
That is exactly what you get. I had to use violence. And then she kind of flicks her blade again from the blood that's on it.
He can't hear you no more.
Oh. Yes, I'm quite aware that the dead cannot hear. And then she sheaths her blade.
That was nice work. Straight for the carotid artery.
I don't know what came out of me. Oh, this is very, very stressful.
Hey, whatever I said about you not surviving, I take right back. That was beautiful.
Well, again, one never wants to cross the Valaris, or they will end up like that one.
All right,
and he
Merrick,
didn't see it coming, technically. Because
he really did not. Merrick, you're up.
All right, Marek will sort of look around and once again sort of whistle to Meat. Okay, let's see how far I can travel with Meat. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so Meat is going to double move, so move and then dash to get to there.
All right.
Marek is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to move to here. And I'm going to use my... How injured does Celery look?
She looks pretty healthy.
Pretty healthy?
Yeah.
Cool. Bonus action, Hunter's Mark.
All right.
And then I'm going to fire. And I am going to infuse my crossbow bolt with the flame as I shoot it through Meat into this woman, hopefully.
Very well.
Ba-bam! Okay, that is an 18.
An 18 is a hit on to Celery.
All right. So that is 7 points of damage from the bolt, plus 6 fire, 5 extra from the Hunter's Mark.
All right. So 7 plus... Sorry, what was that again?
18 in total.
18 in total. All right. 18 damage to Celery.
Hey, where do you think you're going? The party's just starting. And I'm going to load another crossbow bolt, which sounds like me cocking a gun, but that's because I don't know what crossbow loading and
Click.
sounds like.
You are not normal passengers, are you? And V, you're up.
What's a normal passenger? We're in a fucking
V.
wilderness.
Oh, I have the ruler on. That's my V. When she says you're not normal passengers, are you? V says, no. And then I'm going to stab her in the neck because that worked really well last time. 17?
Oh, 17 is a hit.
Yeah. Boom. You've been stabbed. 10 damage.
You guys are brutal with the damage. She is heavily wounded, but she is not dead.
Key is just to roll well on the dice. And I'm gonna go ahead and second win now. I don't like
Okay.
tempting the gods too much.
That's fair.
Ooh. Oh damn! But now it's suboptimal because I don't have.
Suboptimal is an extremely V word that was very in character.
Celery kind of staggers back. She's heavily wounded. She draws her rapier and does 2 quick slashes at you, V, demanding that she will take her wounds from your corpse.
I honestly hope she does at least 16 damage. Otherwise, I'm gonna be mad.
Well, she got a crit with her first swing.
Well, she's baned, so she doesn't.
Okay. Oh, right. Absolutely.
Does Bane negate crits?
Does it?
I don't know. Sure. It brings it to a 23, and I'm just going to
There are,
swing
like,
another one
times
so it's
when
not crit damage.
Yeah. There are times when I want to say things, and then I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to argue with the DM about making stricter judgments. Like, oh, you're a nice DM to me. Never mind. You're so mean. Don't
So-
be nice.
Wait, you forgot to send homework.
The first swing hits you for 6 damage, V.
Okay.
And then the second swing is a 20.
Yeah.
Minus
that hits.
2. That's an 18.
Still hits.
And that one gets you for another 6 piercing damage. And after both swings, you can feel some of your life force drained from your body, and you can see some of the wounds on Tricelery stitching back together.
Oh, you think you're clever, don't you?
I've been smart enough to survive this long.
I have no reference for how long that is. I don't know how long you've been here. I've never heard of you.
Cole, stab the fairy! It just runs up. Okay, boss. Scimitar attack for 21, and
Yeah.
he gained as well, so he gets another reduction. Minus 3.
Still hits.
Okay. That is a swing for 6 slashing damage again.
Okay, see now I feel better about having second wind hit. Your girl's not looking great right now. Might have
Trafer,
saved my life.
you're up.
Oh, I like that. All right.
You know what? I've never done a two-handed attack. Trafer's just going to drop his great axe there and just start walking towards Bandit 3. Like, I fucking told you to drop your goddamn weapons! And he comes in with a hand axe on each side. How exactly does that work with the second hit? We'll do the first one regular. So first one's a 15.
All right, first one is a 15. 15 is a hit.
Great. So that'll do 5 points on Bandit 3.
All right.
And then so with the offhand, how does that work? I don't have to roll at disadvantage, right? It just affects the damage?
Well, are you... So, you're dual wielding it.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said two-hand. I thought you were going to swing your big axe
I
with
have
both hands.
two hand axes.
Okay, so yeah, you would do your offhand swing as your bonus action, and then you just don't add like. Okay, well.
Well, that's an at one on the second.
Not so good as my left.
that sorts that out.
Yeah.
All right, and this guy, seeing the chaos that is wrought, he really doesn't want any of this, so he's stepping back more towards the edge, and takes a shot with his light crossbow at Trafer for 17.
Oh, you done this. That hits.
For 6 piercing. They're consistent with the damage today.
Crazy how they don't even roll dice for that. It's just a fixed number.
Right? Just keeps going. And at the end of the round, the boat lurches as it comes into contact with this long, thick briar of ocean or river vegetation that spans out in both directions across the river. And as it collides with it, a vine reaches up from this vegetation and wraps around Bandit One's leg. And I'm just gonna roll an attack over here. All right. So the vine wraps around the leg of Bandit 1, and he falls hard on the deck as it wraps him up completely and drags him off the deck of the ship and into the pile of vegetation.
Oh yeah.
Adding that to the list.
Have some follow-up questions there, yep.
I have favorite enemy plant creatures. Can I make a nature check to like figure out what the hell that is?
Absolutely, you may.
I totally thought you were just making a joke right there. Like, oh yeah, my favorite enemy is but actually.
Yeah, no, actually, okay, so 22. Look, Merrick knows how deadly plants can be. So, like, animals he can, like, talk to, he can, like, figure out, but plants, don't get plants. Don't like them.
Can't reason with the plant.
Merrick, you're familiar with these. These are a creature that is found in rivers and along shorelines in the Treasured Expanse. It is known as a flotsam mass. It is a distant cousin of the more well-known shambling mound, but it's an aquatic predator that both strangles and drowns its prey. And this one is very big.
Merrick says, all right, listen, we got a flot drangler here. Snatch you up and drown you at will. Don't get too close, Dulcinea.
Speaking of Dulcinea, for its second attack, it swings at Dulcinea for a 9, so a vine creeps up on the deck of the ship and comes at you, Dulcinea.
I say, yeah, Merrick, that's very great, insightful advice.
You're welcome.
All right, and it's Dulcinea's turn.
Yeah, can I move away from it? It's probably gonna provoke an attack, right?
Sure you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to move as far as I can from it.
All right. It swings at you with a 10.
No.
You're okay.
Great. I'm gonna then, given these circumstances, I'm gonna drop Bane.
All right.
And instead cast 2 to Celery. Suggestion. I say, I hear the water is lovely this time of year. Take a swim back to Light's Watch. And she needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Let's see if she can do it. She got an 18.
Does beat it.
Oh, you dropped Bane.
I did drop Bane. I can't have both at the same time.
Okay.
Well, it was worth a try.
She's like, with that thing? Hell no.
Bonus action inspiration to Shay. She's next.
Very well. Shay, you are up.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, I'm so far away from everyone. Like, is there anything that can be done? Ooh, this is a good question. Let me see. If I move, I guess I have to move my full movement, but it won't get me far. What does Dulcinea say, by the way, to give inspiration?
I'm so proud of you following Plan H. So proud of you. I didn't think you had it in you, but you do.
He forced me to have to use violence.
I know, sometimes that happens.
This is still making me very uncomfortable. And let me see if I can, I want to see, Oh, it's still too far. There is literally nothing I can do at this distance. So I'm just gonna move and basically just kind of get a feel for what is going on this side since I was so far away.
Very well. Next up is Merrick.
All right, Marek is going to keep attacking Celery.
All
Do I know if the Flut Strangler, which is definitely what I'm calling it from now on,
Very well.
does it have any weaknesses? Like, in terms of like it hates fire, it like doesn't like cupcakes. I mean,
It really likes lightning. It doesn't like to fight meals too much, so you think you could probably drive it off. Fire doesn't tend to be as effective with it because the vegetation is very wet.
Yep. I figured. Okay. All right. Well, lady, listen. Yeah, I got nothing to say to you. Take this.
Take this.
Natural 20.
All right.
Oh.
That'll do it.
All right. It's not letting me. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that is 10 points of damage from the crossbow bolt.
All right.
That is 12 points of damage from the what do you call it? The Hunter's Mark.
All right.
That is 7 points of damage as meat inflames my weapon.
The celery.
And just because I hate her face, Fury of the Small, she can take another 2 damage.
All right. She falls dead on the deck of the ship with your 2 bolts sticking out of her.
All right, and I'll tell Meat. Also, I'll whistle to Meat to go after Bandit 3.
Very well. V.
Oh no, Meat's right next to Bandit 3. I'm gonna bite him.
Oh, bite him then.
That is a 23 to hit,
Yeah, that'll do it.
and Bandit 3 will take a glorious 6 points of damage.
All right. He's ripping at his arm, but he's still clinging to life stubbornly. V, what have you got?
I'm gonna. Plan H calls for no mercy. I'm gonna hit him with my signature stab you in the neck.
Very well. Stab you in the neck it is.
That hits.
The
I'm
way of the
sure.
girl boss.
The way of the girl boss.
21 is definitely
Can I-
a hit.
Yeah, can I add Bardic and... Oh, see, no way, he's have more than 7 hit points.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He like clutches at you as he goes down. And he's like, "Thank you for not letting me get eaten by that thing."
I'm not gonna tell him that it's probably just gonna eat his dead body. I'll
Kick
keep
him
that to myself.
overboard.
If I can, with like the rest of my turn, I just want to take that cool blade that sucked the life out of me.
All right. You grasp at this rapier, and it has a covered hilt decorated with various jewels on it. And as you pick up the blade, you can feel a kind of hunger within it.
I'll look into that later. Does it magic? Oh, I guess. Oh, if it's magical item, does it become V-sized when I grab it, or do I have to like attune to it or some shit?
It becomes V-sized.
Yay!
All right. Celery doesn't get a turn because she's dead. Trafer.
Oh wait, maybe I'll move back a little bit away from the
I mean,
giant.
if you want, it's fine.
I'm just gonna just take a little step back if you don't mind.
I don't think Trafer's even noticed the plant thing happening.
All right.
As far as he can tell, everything that was attacking us is dead. And so you see he starts to do this thing where he like lifts up his 2 hand axes and starts knocking them against each other as he goes and it slowly turns around, and this goes on for maybe like a full second before he's like, oh yeah. Starts wiping off his hand axes, and I'm gonna hold my action.
Very well. On the Flotsam Mass's turn.
I'm holding my action for somebody being in danger, I guess. guess I should be more specific.
Very well. Well, that somebody may be you, Trafer Grok. Because you guys feel the deck of the ship tilt as this mass of vegetation begins to pull together and kind of roll onto the deck, pushing it down with its weight as it begins to move in on the ship with exploring vines.
Shit? Oh my god.
And it makes a slam attack against Trafer.
Oh no!
And all of the people on the deck of the ship begin screaming and like moving towards the back.
He's definitely got his back to it as he was like, realizing he's looking weird and starts just like casually wiping the blood off his axes as he gets attacked by this.
All right, vines coming your way, Trafer. That's a 26.
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right, sir, that is 13 bludgeoning damage, and you are grabbed.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use that action now
Okay.
to try to break this grapple and get away from this.
All right, you can use an athletics or acrobatics save, please.
I'm going to go with athletics.
All right, that is
7?
not enough. It uses its second action to engulf you. So you take 2d8 bludgeoning damage as you are sucked into the swirling mass of vines.
Welcome to being the tank, baby.
No!
And that is 9, and Trafer disappears into the vegetation.
Cool.
He's just like cheering on the deck, and the next is like. Dulcinea.
Cool. I'm gonna take more steps back. I'm gonna go there, I think. I'm gonna go there, but then measure to make sure that's correct. Yeah, I'm not really set up for combat. I'm gonna hit it with Bane again, so it needs
Okay.
or another random Bane, so it needs a charisma saving throw.
Okay, it doesn't have remarkable charisma. Let's see
That's
what
what
it
I'm
gets.
banking on.
It's got a 6.
Great. So at least we've got Bane going for us, guys.
It's Bane.
I'll
take it.
And how far is Trafer? You might just be out of inspiration range. I'm sorry.
Inspiration 60 feet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. You're within range.
They got to see or hear.
So
Trafer, that was such a good idea. Get it from the inside. You totally got this.
You know, the inside is exactly the same density as the outside. It's just one big mass of like.
Great time.
Yeah, I realize not helping now when you say that.
Shay.
Oh dear. Okay. A few questions.
Okay.
I want to know what, like, as far as the vegetation and the area around this creature. What is it? It's not just water. Is there soil? Are there rocks? Like, what are we dealing with?
It appears as like this massive tangle of vines and like the kind of river vegetation you'd expect to see, seaweed for lack of a better term, just kind of like roiling together in this mass, almost like spaghetti.
Okay, and is there at least soil that is like entangled within this?
There doesn't
creature?
appear to be any soil within it.
No rocks, no nothing. Okay, that ruins that plan.
It's hydroponic.
Okay. Oh boy. This has me stumped because I definitely am not someone who is equipped with that ability to do anything fire related. So Shay is gonna nervously go forward
All right.
next to V. to try to get within at least a range where she can shoot with her crossbow, her hand crossbow, and try to like at the center, not where somewhere where it's not going to end up hitting Trafer.
I look for non-Trafer shaped.
Non-Trafer shaped things.
Most of it, it will not hit Trafer. It's pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
Sprays on the inside too.
And she says, I was not prepared to go against a creature like this. I wish that someone would have told me. Okay, so that is okay, that's a 24 to hit.
24 is a hit.
And she's also going to make this particular, as she hits it, like there is a focus, like kind of a shimmer that lights up in her eyes. This creature has now become one of her favorite foes, and it's something that I can do with no action to deal an additional 1d4.
All right.
So let me roll the damage first for my crossbow. Okay, and that's 6 points of damage plus an additional 4.
All right.
So that's 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. As your bolt hits home in the creature, you can see this mass of vines and tickles kind of bunch up at the point where you've hit it as a reaction to the strike. And it doesn't make any noises because it's a plant, but it seems to be definitely reacting to the hit.
I may have angered it. Please move back further. And she will move too. Like she moved forward just enough to shoot. Any other movement, she's moving back.
Very well. Merrick, what have you?
Yeah, Merrick says, hey, look, this thing, it don't work with, fire don't work on it too well. But I got an idea. Hey, whatever your name, tiny little smoking pipe man and Dulcinea, get out the way! I'm gonna get Merrick and Meat over behind the other cart. And I'm gonna kick out the chucks from the wheels, which I imagine are keeping them in place. And I'm gonna have both Merrick and Meat start pushing the cart as hard as they can towards the creature.
I think it's up to the DM if I can move not on my turn, or if you're gonna knock me out.
Actually, you know what? Given the strength capacity of it, I'll probably signal Meat, and I'll probably move you out of the way. Then I think that'll be better because, yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can pick her up, or just drag her. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, if you want to move Dulcinea out of the way, I'll let you use your action to shift her, and then Meat could start pushing the cart.
Yep. Sweet.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll do that. So yep. And then have Meat kind of like just start. Basically, he just turns down like almost like the Pachycephalosaurus, like like head down.
Yeah.
Just sort of slams the horns into the back and starts shoving this thing forward at whatever speed we can pick up. I'm imagining that the boat's kind of like leaning towards it because when you hit a bank, that front bit should be lower in the water than the rear. So I'm hoping it's going to use some of that gravity to.
I mean, it definitely has gravity on your side, and the cart begins to wheel forward, and it kind of hits the mass with a kind of slurp, and embeds deep into it as it shifts back slightly from the impact. Here. And now there's like a cart sticking out of the roiling mass of vines, and it starts to lift a little bit and like go into it slightly.
All right, I'm gonna hope, and this is fingers crossed hope, that now we have somewhat of a tunnel that we can go in and out of the mass. Now that that's kind of wedged in.
Absolutely.
I don't know what we'll do with it, but hey, look.
I mean, if anything, there's something very destructible and very flammable that's now attached to this creature.
Yeah. Go towards the light.
Draper,
Got that one.
Come through the light. But it does shift it back off the front of the ship a little bit, and more of it is back into the water, and you feel the ship shift a little bit more. And the captain yells from the back, "Good, don't let it get too far in the front, we'll sink!" And V.
Okay, so seeing the state of things, I am going to kind of move up like at an angle in the air, but 30 feet. Well, I guess I'm already floating. So I'll just go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I feel like the creature is pretty busy with its cart, and I'm also flying, so I don't think it can see me, probably. Just in case Trafer needs a hand, I am going to use my action to false life, though, because your girl is looking unwell.
Very well. And you are false lifed.
I'm false lifed.
6 is a good amount of life.
Yeah.
All right. Trafer.
Like, Trafer!
Trafer, you
I'm
are
so strong I can just pull you out.
blind and restrained, and you can't breathe.
Yeah, when Draper first starts being pulled into this thing, he's just like, no. Trying to like hook his axes in, and he gets pulled in there. And there's the first moment where he starts to panic, and he catches himself. No. Never break. Never panic. What do I know? And he starts to think, what does he know about magical plant beasts? Yeah, what does he know about magical plant beasts?
Oh, you're asking me? All right. They're much like animals in a lot of ways. They're predators. They can't see. They operate mostly on feel, and sometimes usually a sense of vibrations. They don't generally like long, extended fights, and if you can hurt them enough, most of the time they'll just give up on the prey and go back to waiting. Okay. They're not aggressive. They're not like active hunters.
What about like anatomically? It's like, do they regurgitate?
With this particular case, with this particular creature, it's uncertain as to whether it's a single creature or a kind of like hive of vegetation.
Got it.
Not necessarily regurgitate, but it might be possible to extricate yourself from it.
Got it. Okay.
If it found you to be something that was dangerous to keep inside of its mass.
Got it. So I'm blinded, I'm restrained, and I can't breathe.
You are inspired, though, too.
Yeah, I'm inspired.
You're blinded, you're restrained, you can't breathe, but you're inspired.
But you got this.
Okay. I think what Trafer does is he thinks of like being irritating, and what's really like when an animal's got something fighting its way out, it's gonna restrain to hold on, right? But when there's something little that's bugging it, it swats it away or scratches it out. So he just starts moving, just like almost like vibrating, but just like creating friction against the surface that's restraining him to try to either start to loosen up and wiggle in a certain direction, or
all right,
to just become so irritating that he gets rejected from the mass. And this includes like just like tiny little cuts with the hand axes and stuff too.
All right.
So I don't know. How do you
I would like you to make an acrobatics check with advantage.
Okay. First one's a 9. Second one's a 17.
Okay, 17 does it. So the mass starts to quiver and shake a bit, and then like a madly wriggling Trafer just flops out onto the deck.
And he just,
soaking wet, just covered in like algae.
Yeah, he'll go ahead and use half his movement to stand up or whatever, and then go back over to where he dropped his axe, or his big axe over here. It just like puts a hand on it and turns towards this thing. And yeah, I think it's my turn.
Wow. All right. It steps forward again. And vines come up for you, V.
How can it know where I am? Does it have blind sight?
It senses the movement of your wings.
Boo! I hate it. I hate it so much.
16.
16 misses.
All right.
Dumb plant.
Second attack is a 19.
Fuck.
That is 19 bludgeoning damage.
He's unconscious.
It wraps its vine around you, V.
It is baned, though.
Oh. Yes. Let's
might
put
be
the
enough.
bane. Let's put the bane on it to see if it doesn't hit. -2.
A 17 just hits.
Oh.
No. Well, we tried. Dulcinea?
Is the cart still? Where's the cart in
The
relation
cart is
to it?
sticking out of it. Look, I can add a cart if you need to.
No,
but it's
I
like
can-
sticking out in like this area here.
Yeah, I can do theater of the imagination. I'll come up a little bit. Or do I have to? No, I don't think I have to. I'm gonna. No, I won't. I'm gonna come up 5 feet.
Okay.
Very calmly, nonchalantly. I have oil in my pack, and I'm gonna toss some oil with one hand and snap with the other and prestidigitate to light a small campfire. And I'm gonna light the oil on fire on the cart on fire to get it.
Seeing her do that, can I quickly say that because because I shouted out earlier on.
Yeah.
Hey, this thing's resistant to fire. It's wet. It's a huge
Well,
big
I'm
thing.
out of ideas. You do something impressive then.
I put the cart in it.
Yeah, and I lit it on fire. Do something next
We
time.
do have a V that is lying there, unconscious. Just saying.
Also grappled. V is also grappled. I just want to point that out.
Also restrained by this creature.
There we go. All right, cart is lit on fire, and the vines start to react and retreat from the cart. While it doesn't hurt it a lot, it does still hurt it a little bit.
I think we just got pissed off enough to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Fire damage to it. All right,
Okay.
Shay, what do you got?
Okay, so question. When you said that the vines started to retreat, did the vines release V
No,
or is V?
They're
V is
still holding V. They're retreating from the cart. So, like, think of this thing as this amorphous creature. It's that size, but it's, like, shifting all the time. So the parts of it that are touching the cart are moving back.
Okay, so seeing that, like, obviously V is not in good shape. I'm gonna try to move forward. Let's see. Not in good shape at all. I'm so far back though. Okay. All right. Hear me out. This is going to be like a whole thing.
Okay,
So
let's hear it.
If possible, and I know that this is a far reach. Like I'm reaching real far with this one. But Shay's going to attempt to go forward, like rushing forward, her full movement. In the process, she's going to switch her weapon to pull out her whip to try to throw her whip in the direction of V to grasp onto V
Okay.
to try to pull V in her direction.
I love this.
Stretch.
Make
It's a stretch. So she's going and she's like trying to just reach for her.
Here's what I want you to do to Indiana Jones this.
I'm trying to Indiana Jones this shiz. So she's gonna rush forward. I've got you, V! And
I
then-
want you to make a weapon attack against V with your whip.
I promise I'll help you become conscious again. If this works, please let this work. Okay,
Had a
so
really
you
fun
said
time being
what
on
was,
the
it's a weapon? Weapon attack, correct?
Yeah, weapon attack. You technically have
30,
advantage.
30. Okay, so that was one. Dirty 20 is
Yep.
the highest.
Okay. So that you got it.
Okay.
So you whip out. You get the whip wrapped around V. We'll say the arm.
Sure.
And so here's the other part of this. This shambling mass still has its vine wrapped around V. So if you want to pull it away from V, I need you to contest its strength with yours.
You're gonna dislocate my shoulder. I just feel it. I can just.
We can always mend these wounds, I believe. The power of positivity.
So,
or something.
I'm gonna just make a D20 strength roll on my flotsam mass. Let's see if it comes up.
Okay.
Okay, it is a 5. It crit missed.
Okay. Wait, you said it's strength. It's strength, right?
Yes.
Okay, I had a 15. I have a bonus +4 to my strength.
Okay. You pull V loose from the vine and manage to get V up to you.
I've got you. So she pulls her just as far as she can, yanks her, even if it might mean that there's a little, dislocation. It's okay.
Yeah, walk
it's
it off.
fine. It's fine. She won't feel it. I don't think. In her state, it's fine.
She'll be fine. Everything's gonna be great. Merrick,
Things are going so well for me right now, actually.
All right. Marek, seeing the creature still like kind of latching on and looking at the flaming cart, he whistles at Meat. Seeing as it's like on fire, I'm not gonna go touch it. But Meat's gonna then just again ram into the back of the cart, continuing to try and push it off the actual boat there.
All right.
Meanwhile, Marek is going to use Hunter's Mark again on oops, that's fine. On the shambling mound, and I'm going to fire my crossbow at it.
Very well. Attack.
Oh, that's a 12.
You somehow missed it.
It's all wriggling plant, man. It's like
it just goes into those perfect holes just all the way through.
Only not judging you.
All right.
I'm sorry, are you getting this thing off the boat?
we'll give Meat a pushback on it, so it retreats a little bit. V.
Okay, is it all right if I roll my death saves with real dice? Because I computer killed me once.
Okay, it's fine. Look, if you're gun shy about your computer killing you, I understand.
Fuck, I hit the edge of the table. That is a failure.
No,
Oh no, Trafer.
I believe.
If I'm gonna die, it's gonna be by my own hands.
I'm jumping in there next to Meat and like pushing this flaming cart, but Traver runs up and like with the broadside of the axe just starts like baseball swinging at this cart because it's like it's a flaming splinter basically that we're shoving into this thing, and so I'm thinking
Trafer, you're doing that. And I'm just going to give you a pushback on it because I'm a kind of benevolent dungeon master. But also, what I would like you to do is make a perception check.
Okay. Perception is not fantastic. It's an 18, baby.
Trafer, this brightly lit flaming cart is full of barrels. And these barrels have markings on them similar to the young gnome, or the gnome with the beautiful mustache that you saw running around the deck of the ship. And all of these barrels have this gray smoke permeating them as they sit in the flames, just leaking out from the edges of them. And there's like this hissing sound.
Smells like burning, kind of like orange shit.
And he'll grab Meat like by the collar or bridle or whatever and just pull him away because like I know he's a fucking lava monster or whatever, but I'm still worried about him. So I want to pull Meat with me back with the rest of the crowd.
All right.
Given that Meat only just knows you, he snarls for a moment, but realizes what you're doing, and then just kind of, you know, when you pick up a cat like midway, and then they just sort of flop. Yeah, that's kind of what Meat's done.
Oh, come on,
All right.
we're gonna get the hell out of here.
And at the end of the round, Glombus Point comes out from hiding, looks at the scene, and says, "Holy cats! Is that my truck?" And followed by a burst. As the vines sent out in all directions, and the creature flares out from the sides and smokingly slips out into the river as the boat lurches upward and kind of catches itself again. And with that, the rest of the passengers on the deck of the ship cheer.
I reach out and I tap V and I cast Cure Wounds.
And at the same time, it's like almost at the same time, like Shay is
Get 12
basically
back.
Shay is pouring what looks like sand over her body for her cure wounds, and let's see how much we gotta make sure.
There we go.
You know what? Shay's been through a lot of stress, so it's just 6. But
I will take every point so gladly.
Shay's desperately.
When as V begins to come to, she like grabs your hand, Shay, and pulls a pamphlet that she keeps in her bag and puts it in your palm. And it's like, do you look at the pamphlet or the little booklet?
Yes. No, anything that has any type of writing or something that Shay could read, you know that Shay's gonna read it.
So you know V comes prepared for all sorts of things, and as a company fae for the Golden Satchel, you become prepared for a lot of different situations that you encounter doing like corporate espionage, and it's just a little booklet that's like, so you just murdered someone, and it's like a guide to walking through your emotional response afterward. And it's just like, I thought you could just and then just kind of like lays down kind of sleeps it a little bit.
Thank you. We should really try to make sure that she has proper rest somewhere, not here, close to that.
As V's getting healed up, Meat is just like licking Trafer on the cheek with like this big kind of like, you know, I mean, I'm sure he would have been fine, you know, again, lava monster, but he realizes that Trafer, you know, tried to save him, so he's like licking him on the face, this like long wyvern tails like wagging.
You look at Trafer's all like his coat and his skin is all cut up. He's got like the cartoon like blast of soot on him from the explosion. He's like, all right, buddy, all right. Okay, stop, no, that really hurts. Come on.
Yeah, it starts to sting a little bit as he realizes the ash is like what he's after, like he's licking the gunpowder ash off you. Marek is, on the other hand, going over to Celery and is rifling through her belongings and pockets before intending to abscond with everything but her clothes and kick her into the water.
Yeah, I want to do
even
the
if
same
she's still
to
alive.
Clint.
All right.
After I smack V, I'm like curious as to who these people are.
Yeah, V
So
appreciates
violent.
the smack.
I like Shay did not smack you.
Yeah. Well, I just imagine.
I mean, you might have sand on you, but
Smack was
it
too
goes
strong
away.
of a word.
You
You
got
got
a tap.
yeah, you got a light little silvery cure wounds, but it's like an afterthought to her. Like she's not really a healer, but if people need it, like she's just not gonna stick around. She doesn't have good bedside manner.
So I'll say on Celery, you find a heavy crossbow and several lengths of rope. You also find a packet containing 6 gold coins and 10 silver. And you also find a unusual dagger. And in fact, Merrick, you'd probably know this dagger pretty well. As you start to take a look at it, it initially appears as a dagger, but what it actually is a dragon tooth that has been fashioned into a dagger.
Ooh. Can I identify what type of dragon, maybe?
Give me a nature check.
Given that I'm from the Scale Lands, would I get advantage on it?
Sure.
Yay.
Such a benevolent dungeon master.
That is a 21.
This appears to be a white dragon tooth.
Wow. And it looks reasonably fresh, like it wouldn't have come from the mountains of the Scale Lands. It's likely there are dragons here, right?
No, it doesn't look fresh. It looks pretty old. Like this has been used as a weapon.
Okay.
This has been used as a weapon at least as long as it was a tooth. So.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Yep. Sweet. All right. Good. Yeah. All right. Slightly less to worry about. I'm like, oh, white dragons. Oh, good. Okay. Cool.
And,
I was gonna say I'll pocket the knife and load the heavy crossbow into the wagon. Like I'm basically treating it like the wagon is our quote unquote group loot, as it were. So if anyone wants it, I've got it on my sheet, but like I'll put the rope and the crossbow and stuff up there. And then kick her body into the water.
On Clint, you find a finely crafted dagger that appears to be made of expanse steel. You also find a fine-edged short sword and a disguise kit.
I'm gonna pocket the disguise kit before anybody else can see it, but bring the short sword and the dagger back to the group. I can't use the sword, but I am taking the dagger. But Shay, can you tell me anything about the dagger?
I can. It seems like it is made out of expanse steel, so of course I can take a look at the properties. But where should I'm like holding V? I'm like
I'm good. I'm.
Oh!
Yeah.
I was not aware that you just woke up.
Is this sand?
So, just dust it off. It's a very special. Obviously, it helped with your wounds.
I appreciate it. And I just press digitate. And I actually wanted to look at this sword too, so I can just. And I just kind of like fly out of your hand and like a little awkward, go.
Shay adjusts her vest and like her jacket.
Yeah, I feel a little embarrassed about having gone down, so I'm just gonna go to my favorite quiet place, which is directly on top of the cart, and ritual cast identify on this little rapier.
All right. So. While you're casting Identify, I will say, Shay, as you take a close look at the dagger, and Dulcinea, as you show it too, Shay, you can see that the hilt of the dagger, the handle, appears to look like a pair of skeletons standing back to back with their arms stretched out like this, that form the handle. And along the edges of the hilt of the dagger, appear to be just like a series of bones, almost like a mat knitted together, carved into the expanse steel. And the blade is finely honed and has a groove down the center, almost kind of like a blood channel. But the blades on the sides are thin and sharp and well honed.
That seems bad, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to use it. But I'm gonna take it because I don't want to give it to anyone else in this group. I like look around and I'm like, not spooky, not spooky, not spooky, not spooky. No. Like, doesn't seem to fit any of them, so I'm gonna take it.
Based on the passing glance at this and anything, and what Trafer knows about.
That's right, you can, yeah. I won't hide it from you either, that's right, relic
does
shit.
This look like something from the Empires or not? Is this like
It is not It's not consistent with any styles or forging practices from any of the empires.
So it's not something that, in looking at this, is there any type of, like, would Shay have noticed the skeletons, like, as far as just like that imagery from any of the readings?
You've
At all?
never seen these designs on a piece of expanse steel before.
I think Traver just kind of like walks over and looks over Shay's shoulder. That's a hell of a. I've never seen anything like that.
I've never seen anything like this myself. But I will say, if you are going to hold on to this, just be aware that we are still learning things about its capabilities. So just wield this with caution, Lady Dulcinea.
Well,
That's you think that's expanse steel?
It most certainly looks like it is, which means that there. I don't know. I'm still very, very unsure if it's something that should be wielded.
well, Miss Shay, I think you would agree that the best way to learn about things is to experiment. Trafer, do you think you could catch me a bird or a squirrel? Something small?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to maybe put that away right now.
It does have magical properties to it,
And,
so be mindful of that.
It's like as soon as Trafer says that, he turns around and he's like, "Oh, damn! All right, is everybody okay over there?" And just like starts walking towards the civilians, making this direction.
The civilians cheer, and truly the rest of the journey, about a day's time, is filled with tales of the brave adventurers, the expedition of Lady Dulcinea, who repelled a flotsam mass and bandits from the riverboat ship. This tale will spread far and wide as your ship pulls in late at night to Haven's Gate. Peering out the window in Haven's Gate, the gnome governor watches the ship comes in. An attendant approaches. "It is as you say, sir. Tricelery is no more, and her bandit crew has been dealt with. And additionally, it seems that the team cleared a flotsam mass from the river as well." Excellent. I couldn't have hoped for more. Perhaps they will survive the trip. I think we've bet on a good horse, Wesley. Let's meet them, shall we? And that is almost where we end our story today. But V, as you cast Identify on this new sword, this new blade, you hear echoing in your mind, "You got small hands, but at least you know how to swing them." And now we're going to stop right there.
Beautiful.
Hey, do we get to level up?
You do. You get to level up.
What?
Yeah. Level up, everybody. It's happening.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
So our team is going to level up, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be on a break next week. I apologize. I got to go to a work thing. But we'll be back on the 26th. So, tune in. Everything else is going to be regularly scheduled next week. Just kind of one episode. But we're going to come back on the 26th, and things will continue from there. So we'll definitely miss you, but it'll give these guys time to come up with an incredible level up strategy for their cool characters at level 4.
Oh boy.
The pressure's on. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to my incredible party for letting me launch a terrifying life-ending monster at them at level 3.
Yeah. That happened.
Great time.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Great.
Look, if you're not almost dying, what's the point? So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much to our audience. Thank you for watching and supporting and dropping all of the likes and shares and all that good stuff. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time. And until then, folks, wear last light. Good night.
It's D&D. It's D&D. It's D&D. It's D&D. We all agreed to play some D&D.
God damn it.
Role playing,
Something about
fighting
whacking
and
my
slaying, solving
Well, this is
puzzles.
awkward.
Maybe it's just me. You guys
Okay,
won't.
everyone
No,
just
we won't.
stands
You guys
really
just don't.
still.
No, we don't.
It's like,
They
have you
won't
ever...
listen. Yeah.
We have to do the 90s leap and freeze. Like, ready? 3, 2, 1.
But instead of gaming, you find the weirdest other things to do. There was a guys who would
This is taking longer than I thought.
So we weren't supposed to end there.
Winter, you went to the hinter, lands of permafrost and frozen ice. You hid from every danger, you wizard, rogue, and ranger, and found the perfect alley for your quest. In the lands of no man, you guys built a snowman and said that this adventure was the best. It's D&D. It's D&D. It's D&D. It's D&D. We all agreed to play some D&D. That means role playing, fighting and slaying, solving puzzles. Maybe it's just me. But you guys won't.
No, we won't.
You guys just don't.
No, we don't.
Follow a single plotline through and through. I'm not complaining, but instead of gaming, you'll find the weirdest other things to do. You made it to a town with intrigue all around. There were 14 detailed NPCs you met. Rumors they told you